Okay, so this video is mainly about the Edmonton trail system, which is really excellent as far as I can see. And you can see here, this is near the very south boundary of Edmonton. And as soon as you get to the exact boundary, you're on really nice paved path like this. And you'll see the soccer dome over to the left here, and up to the right, that clump of trees just in behind there, you'll see where I stop. And that's because every once in a while, and even on my trip back in the late 90s, I stop every once in a while to take a photo if something caught my eye. And yeah, here I am. I speeded up the video, but I haven't used my cell phone because I don't keep my cell phone on during these trips, because I'm just generally in tenting sites with no power, so nothing to recharge a phone or anything like that. So I use film camera. The particular one I have is an Olympus XA2, which only weighs 200 grams. And you can, unlike a phone, which, it takes, I don't know how many minutes to fully switch the thing on and off, this little unit will switch on and off just within 5 or 10 seconds, right? Or as soon as you open the so-called clamshell on this thing. Couple more. I'll flash up some images of the tow strap I used, and it's got that. You'll see later on in the video where I use the tow strap to go under the LRT tracks, and it's got a chunk. That white chunk is Teflon, easy to carve, and the little chock, that wooden chock to keep me stable when the brakes, the park brakes on the Velo they aren't necessarily all that strong on steeper slopes, so I use that chock and just reach down while I'm actually still in the Velo. Okay, here we go to normal audio. Okay, last day of my tour. People always have their cell phones out. It's been great. On the pathway on the west side of 111th, I believe, just on the west side of the LRT, and overall the journey was great. I think I mentioned in one of the previous videos that the best part was being able to talk to people, and this one was no exception. Was able to talk to everyone from a sheriff at the legislature who came up and talked to me, and he was just inquisitive, but man, we were chatting away for 10-15 minutes. And like, I don't actively seek out people to talk to, but generally I don't have much problem that way with people coming up and talking to me. Of course, you could do a whole subject on sociology of velomobiles and people's reaction to them. Okay, here now we're coming up to an interesting part where the pathway just curves around like the streets of San Francisco. So you'll see that in a minute, but yeah, so I was talking to the sheriff at the legislature, probably at the other end of the spectrum. Had an amazing conversation, probably 20 minutes or so, with a great grandmother from the Mascochise Reserve. And I gotta say, I was a little bit nervous. I'd never been on a reserve before, but I stopped in there for get some milk. Can I cross here? No. Stopped in to get some milk, and the people there, the nearest equivalent I can think of, people from Ireland or people from Newfoundland, like just so friendly, unassuming. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. You'll see the sky for a few seconds here, but then you'll get to see the creativity of the Edmonton trail system. Go ahead.
What's that?
Your turning radius is probably better than mine.
What is that?
It's a velomobile.
Oh.
Okay, so as I mentioned, I think even in a previous video, the turning radius on this thing is even worse than my Miata, but I managed to make it work okay with that little tow rope on the rear. And here we go. This is different section of the Edmonton trail system, and within a few 100 meters or so it veers off. Oh, I see this guy's already going on the other side. I'll do that. You'll see this is where they've got the curbs, actual curbs protecting Velo riders, and I will jaunt over there
And someone's pushed the button for me. Thank you. And yeah, so all of 76 miles, I don't know how many miles of 76th Ave, east-west, is has these protective curbs. And then at some point, well, this is 112th Street. At 110th Street, I think it's just delineators, but again, they're pretty well delineated, and it goes back on the north-south route again, and a lot of people see these. I think that's drainage. Must be drainage. Can't be. They wouldn't have done that on purpose. Yeah, so that when we get to 110th, I'm not going to take 110th today because I'm going straight out to, and I'll let this guy in, going straight out to the rent-a-car place because I'm not going to cycle all the way back to Red Deer. I knew this from the start. I didn't want to. Enough. It would have been a bit too much, but what I will do is twice a year, either till I'm incapacitated or dead or whatever, do this trip out to Edmonton, unless and until changing maps comes into print again. That's where the public comes in. In the faint chance that happens, then I will be obligated to at least try to cycle to Ottawa again, like I did in 96 and 97, and yeah, that's that. I haven't actually come to this intersection yet, but or before. This guy seems to know what he's doing, so we got the crossing there, so see? Oh, and some of these intersections are able to detect cyclists, which is great. All these little dog legs are not great, especially for me. I can't do leans in the turn. Somewhat restricted with the width of my wheels here, but I guess it still allows people to park their vehicles, which I can see. And that's about all I can think of for now, so thank you.